So while the ad hoc committee started late and they were just going over who they wanted to keep as witnesses and realign and readjust their witness list, I have no idea why they had to do that, but that's what they started off their day doing. The Madlanga Commission was loading like a train, full steam ahead. It was going, and then they decided to become an electric train, and then it was now at 200, 300, 400 kilometers per hour. That's how Madlanga started. You're gonna see in the next clip. It starts off with Brigadier, the evidence leader, who is Advocate Lee Sigel Ngube. She did a phenomenal job. And here's the thing about being an evidence leader: you know the evidence. You know the evidence already. You've already sat down with them gulaguters, okay? You've already sat down with them. You know what you want to ask them, and then you get into it. And then once you start to get into it, ooh, the going gets tough. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the first time at the Madlanga Commission where the tempo changed. The tune changed. It was no longer kumbaya. Those who've been watching my videos, you know I call the Madlanga Commission the private school where everything is mellow. There's no drama. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. So what's happening is we have Wanda, Captain Wanda. Captain Wanda in the building. That is the first first witness of the day, rather, Captain Wanda. And he is from the PKTT. All you need to know about Captain Wanda is he was on site. Okay. He was part of the PKTT. If you watch the Senzo Meyiwa trial, he's kind of the equivalent of Amanda Steenekamp, the artist who drew the sketches of the suspects in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, combined with Mosia, the forensic evidence photo taking guy at the Senzo Meyiwa crime scene. So just imagine someone who does both those jobs in one. But then they work for the PKTT. So you already know that's elevated status, okay? So anyway, and he's the most senior on site. So he is there on the 6th of December 2024 at KT Molefe's house over there in Sandhurst. Just a few minutes away from Morgan Maumela's house. Who's Morgan Maumela? Just in case you've forgotten, is the guy with the 4 blue. I almost said Hosh curry. The 4 blue Lamborghinis, but we're not going to go into Maumela today. Before I digress, let's get back onto the focus here. So let's get acquainted, shall we, with Captain Wanda.
In
Here
the
goes.
South African Police Services. Could you just explain to the commissioners what your background is?
Oh, thank you, Commissioner. I'm an adult male captain employed in the South African Police Services, Captain Maxwell Tulani Wanda, and currently attached at Local Criminal Record Center in Richards Bay, which is LCRC. I am primarily as a crime scene investigator, but I am also a photographer, videographer, draftsman, as well as the fingerprint experts, and also as the crime scene investigation manager as well. So I have got 32 years experience in the South African Police Services, and of which 30 years I've been employed as a crime scene investigator in the environment of Local Criminal Record Center, LCRC, and I've been in the rank of the captain for 6 years.
Thank you, Captain. Can you just tell us more about the Local Criminal Record Center? What is that?
A Local Criminal Record Center it's a local office at a local level or at a station where it deals with cases where where attends to all kinds of sins where the crime has been committed. It can be a murder, housebreaking, etc., etc. But it's under CR and CSM, which is a criminal record and crime scene management, which is a component. And the Local Criminal Record Center is a sub-component and under the division of forensic services.
Okay. You also mentioned that you were a draftsman. What would a draftsman be doing within the police services?
It's a fully qualified, trained police officer who draws sketch plans and can also who can draw sketch plans.
Okay. And in paragraph 2, you talk about your role at crime scenes. Can you just elaborate on that, please?
I'm ordinarily called on crime scenes to ensure the optimization of the form of evidence collected on point of view and to a certain collection of exhibits to take photographs, including exhibit collections, fingerprints, related cases as well. I do attend to that. And also to assist in the dispatching of exhibits from the crime scene to the respective laboratory and to ensure that the exhibits are not compromised.
And you say in your statement that you generally arrive at the crime scene after the investigating team. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Now, in paragraph 3, you would have heard the chair's question to me about takedown operations. Before we get into your paragraph 3, can you tell us why do you call it a takedown operation?
I think a takedown operation is an operation where it's a planned operation where there is J50 has to be executed.
Okay, and the J50 would be a warrant of arrest.
A warrant of arrest, that's correct, Commissioner.
So why don't you just call it a warrant of arrest execution operation?
Well, ever since I've been in this career, that's the term that are familiar to me, and then that has been used up to my knowledge, up to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, I think then we'll stick to that term if the chair is fine with that.
No problem at all.
Thank you, Chair. So can you just tell us what is your involvement at a takedown operation as compared to a crime scene, which you referred to at paragraph 2?
Wanda's intro, one of the things he said is that he's a fingerprint expert. He does the crime scene investigation and the crime scene management. So he's really the guy who's there at the very, very beginning of a case, of a docket. Okay. When they say, where are the 121 dockets? It's this docket. It starts there at the crime scene. And he's also the photographer. So he's the guy taking all the photos that are then going to be exhibits in the docket. Get it? Yeah. And then he's also the draftsman. And here on your screen is a crime scene draft, a sketch. And this is this Kelly Kumalo's mother's house. This is the sketch, and you can see where they show where the intruders are. This is Mosia, who is the equivalent, I would say, to Captain Wanda in the South African Police Services in Gauteng. But I wanted to also highlight ranks while we're on the topic, because it's going to be very important later on as he talks about the interference from the Hawks members that came to disrupt them at KT Molefe's house. So let me just show you the ranking structure. Okay, so here is the rank structure off of the South African Police Services website. And as you can see, it starts with lieutenant, then a captain, then you go major, and then you have a lieutenant colonel, and then a colonel. He is Captain Maxwell Wanda, and he's been in the South African Police Services for 32 years. So he is a commissioned member. Okay, yeah. So he is a commissioned member. That means he can sign stuff. And then you can see his, I don't know what those things are called, on their shoulders. So his... Wow, give me the words, guys, in the comment section. So his badge, that's what I'm going to call it now, goes over his shoulder and not on his shoulder. The firm lesson that I learned, okay, I enjoyed that lesson from Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Umkhonazwe. So now I know, like, instantly, when you see a policeman, you take a look at their shoulder. Oh, okay, he's a commissioned officer. Oh, it's on his arm, then no, he's not a commissioned officer. Quick ranking structure. So he is actually a commissioned officer. And that is a position just after lieutenant, okay? But he's a long, long ways away from brigadier. And that will make sense later on when we talk about the interaction with Brigadier Clanky. We'll talk about him. I don't know how long these videos are going to take me, but I do these videos to help you out if you can't watch the full session and just give you a little bit of my opinion here and there. Just add a little bit of spice to make it entertaining. Yeah, keep it highly entertaining. So let's get back to what else he had to share.
On the takedown operations, my involvement would be to be on standby. When the J50 is being executed or warrant of arrest is being executed by the certain respective police officers, that will be investigating officer would be leading that team. And then later, when they do find some where there's an activity where it requires our expertise as the crime scene investigator, and then we called later to come and process. But we are not being part of the execution of the J50 and so forth.
Okay, if we can then go to page 2 of your statement at paragraph 4. You speak about your involvement with the PKTT, which is the Political Killings Task Team. Can you elaborate on that?
Commissioner, let me start by explaining the PKTT. PKTT is a political killings task team that deals with the political related cases. I was deployed at PKTT on December 31 in the year 2023 until April the year 2025, where I was a technical commander for LSRC, which entails leading the PKTT evidence collection team. This was a very important role to the lawful collection and preservation of evidence as critical experts of any criminal cases, and if the integrity of the evidence collection and process is compromised, it may impact the admissibility of evidence. And it must be also that prior to joining the PKTT, I was attached to the local criminal records center in Richards Bay, where I'm stationed currently as the CSI commander. In fact, I was there before my deployment to the PKTT.
After April 2025, did you go back to Richards Bay?
That is correct, Commissioner.
And why did you go back?
Commissioner, there was okay. Our task team, our task team coordinator came and addressed us. Yes.
Let me give context.
Yes.
You are part of the PKTT from 31 December 2023, and as we speak, my understanding is that the PKTT has not been disbanded. It still exists.
Yes.
So, yeah, so why did you go back if the PKTT still exists?
Okay. On the PKTT, it consists of a different role players, which was myself under forensics, and there was also forensics, which included LSRC and ballistic, and there was the crime intelligence in that team. But we were addressed by our project coordinator to withdraw from the team, to go back to our offices, because there was some letter of disbandment of the team. So, but the rest, like a detection team, were left behind just to oversee the dockets that they were still having on hand.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
So
Chair.
that is the intro to Captain Maxwell Wanda of the PKTT since December 2023, but his role ended April 2025 due to he's a casualty. Okay, he is a casualty of the gradual winding down, returning back to sender as Senzo Mchunu preferred, because according to Senzo Mchunu, there was no political killings anymore. Like, you know, the PKTT is irrelevant. I'm going to keep this video nice, short, and sweet because this is a part 1. I wanted to introduce you to him. My general opinion of him, he's an honest guy. He seems like a hard worker. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He seems pretty qualified, and I like that he answers questions and he moves on. He doesn't shy away from the questions. But you're going to understand why that comment is important. So let's get into part 2. And this is what he talks about when they are there inside Parati within KT Molefe's house. If you don't know who KT Molefe is, I'll introduce him at the beginning of the next video.